of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order. Chair calls on City Clerk Ivan Nelson for the roll call.
Councilman Harris?
Here.
Councilman Williams is absent today. Councilman Avery?
Here.
Eccles?
Here.
Stewart?
Here.
Cannon?
Here.
Reed?
Here.
We have a quorum present. The meeting is open for business, and I will ask Phil Swindle to come forward and lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the beautiful sunshine that we've had in the recent days and weeks. God, thank you for the promise of rain that's headed our way. Lord, more importantly, we thank you for giving us a nation that is safe to live in, a nation that protects the rights of its citizens. And thank you for these men who represent the voters and the citizens of the city of Gadsden. And Father, for this city, that it might be a light on a hill for you, and that these men would make decisions that would not only follow the laws of the land, but God would honor you as well. Thank you for the men and women of our military who are serving overseas and serving locally. Lord, that they protect our rights every day of their lives by putting their lives on the line. And for our first responders as well. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the work session and the council meeting on June the 14th.
So moved. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
Chair will entertain a motion to ratify payment of the accounts for the week of June the 10th through the 16th.
So moved. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Proclamations. Would Mr. Chair, as Tankerley come forward? Mr. Tankerley is the chairman of the Olympic Committee here. The City of Gadsden proclamation reads, whereas for over 100 years, the Olympic movement has built a more peaceful and better world by educating young people through amateur athletics, by bringing together athletes from many countries in friendly competition, and by forging new relationships bound by friendship, solidarity, and fair play. And whereas the United States Olympic Committee is dedicated to coordinating and developing amateur athletic activity in the United States to foster productive working relationships among sports-related organizations. And whereas the City of Gadsden promotes and supports amateur athletics activities involving Olympic and Paralympic sports, and whereas the City of Gadsden promotes and encourages physical fitness and public participation in amateur athletic activities, and whereas the City of Gadsden assists organizations and persons concerned with sports and the development of athletic programs for able-bodied and disabled athletes, regardless of age, race, and gender. And whereas June 23rd is the anniversary of the founding of the modern Olympic movement, representing the date on which Congress of Paris approved the proposal of Pierre de Coubertin to found the modern Olympics. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Sherman Guyton, Mayor of the City of Gadsden, do hereby proclaim with much appreciation and admiration June 23, 2011 as Olympic Day in the City of Gadsden, and urge all citizens to observe such anniversary with appropriate ceremonies and activities.
Good afternoon. It's nice to be here, and I really do appreciate the proclamation, and so does the Boys and Girls Club. Like it stated, on June 23rd, we'll be holding our first annual Olympic Day, and our goal for this event is to show children what it means to be an Olympian, not necessarily the part about winning. I'm more concerned about the sportsmanship and how they treat others and taking pride in the work they do. Whether or not they win or lose, I want them to try as hard as they can and finish what they start. If you don't know me, I'm the new unit director at the Florence Dahlgate unit. We've recently just moved back into 1416 Park Avenue. And I would encourage you to take part in the Boys and Girls Club. This is our community, and these are our kids, and they're constantly looking for people and adults to look up to, those role models that those children need. If you need to contact me, you can contact the administrative office for the Boys and Girls Club. If you have any questions about Olympic Day, feel free to call. I've got all the answers. But once again, thank you very much for your time, and we really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Where is it? Are y'all in the
old building.
old building?
They moved back to the old building, yes.
Okay. Unfinished business, we have none today. 9 through 12, this is a time and place as advertised to conduct public hearings and allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of a resolution assessing nuisance abatement liens against property. This is for grass cutting that has been performed, and we have 4 locations. I'm going to read the addresses and names, and anyone who wishes to speak about any of these may come forward. 1213 Mayflower Street in District 2, $481. Connie S. Rooks, Candy D. Johnson, in care of Brenda Rogers. 1227 Etowah Avenue in District 3, $391, State of Alabama Department of Revenue Property Tax Division, and Bobby Wayne Copeland. 312 Country Club Drive, District 4, $871, Michael at R. Wamsley. 12 is 1724 Emmanuel Avenue in District 6, $376. William David Brown and others in care of Daphne Franklin. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to any of these resolutions? Does anyone wish to speak in favor? John, on this one on Country Club Drive, is this that same house down there on the left that we've had trouble with? Is he paid up? I know he hadn't paid this one, but has he got some behind, isn't it? He has paid the ones in the... Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt all 4 resolutions.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I know you had a question about that, and I don't know what we can do from a legal standpoint. When you've got chronic situations like you have down there, we got to do something. Find a way to abate the nuisance completely or permanent, maybe I should say permanently. Mr. Kirby, I don't know what we can do, but please look into something.
I don't know why anybody would want to pay $871 to have the grass cut.
Well,
That's probably multiple times.
well, it's multiple times, but at the same time.
Is it multiple times?
That's for 3 years.
Oh, my
3
goodness.
years.
Well, that's not too bad then.
Well, but it's bad for us in that, I mean, this guy will pay when we put the lien on, but look at all the other ones. I mean, we have thousands and thousands of dollars just about every week or two. And we're in the grass cutting business instead of being in business about taking care of the city otherwise. I don't know how much money we spend a year. John, can you give us an idea?
We never said.
Yeah, let me make just a quick announcement. John Ashley, Community Development, Housing and Property Inspector. I don't know if you're all aware of it, but some of these large amounts, we have started rolling these and doing several years together. That saves us a little bit on recording and advertising fees rather than doing it yearly. We've started doing like 2 or 3 years together. On this particular case on Country Club, it's funny that you brought it up. I have spoken with a party that has an interest in that house the other day, and they have actually rented that house out. And I've noticed that it has been maintained, cleaned up. We've not had to maintain it this year. This lien that we're placing on it today is for the past 3 years. And prior to that, we had placed a lien on it that did get paid through the property taxes. So it did actually work. He did pay it, although I've never had contact with the owner. He has gotten the message that he's had to pay, and he has proceeded to do so. So I'm in high hopes that when this one's added to his property taxes, he pays again now that he has a renter living in the house. And it does look like they've cleaned it up, and looks like it's going to be taken care of. My hope. Only time will tell. What was your question on the cost again?
No, I was just saying that, this particular property owner pays up and blah, blah, but we have hundreds out there who don't, and we're just constantly rolling over and rolling over.
The percentages on that, and I've done some rough figuring, on average, we're taking back in roughly about 35% of the money that we spend out each year. That's just kind of a rough average percentage-wise that we're taking back. So 65% of the money that we're paying out, we're not recovering, and due to the fact that a lot of that's state property, that has a great bearing on it. We've inherited a lot of state property over the last 5 years, especially due to foreclosures, people just losing interest in the property, relatives passing it on to somebody that lives out of state, and they don't have an interest in it, and they let it roll back to the state. So that's where a lot of the cost is buried, that we possibly will never recover. But the only way to try to recover it is to place these liens on it in hopes that maybe some family heir or some neighbor may come in, like we try to encourage to purchase the property, and then we try to work with them. We don't expect them to pay the full price. We had much rather them to take the property over and start maintaining it. That would save us money in the long run, is what we're looking at doing. So,
And putting it back on the tax list, the tax roll.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I just wanted to come up and kind of clear up. I didn't know some of these large amounts, like I say, we have started rolling them into several years to help save on the cost of the advertising and recording fees. That's the reason that we've started doing it that way rather than doing it just every single year. So,
And we do tack the recording fees and all that stuff onto the
yes, sir.
lien, okay.
We legally have to advertise everything. We do that through the, I believe it's the Gadsden Times now, and we do add that fee and the recording fee for the courthouse onto the cost. So they do have to incur those charges as well. So, thanks.
Okay.
Ready to vote.
Take the vote.
Those in favor to adopt all 4 resolutions, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt all 4.
13 is a resolution awarding bid number 3172 for the former General Forest School asbestos abatement project. City engineer is recommending awarding the bid to Environment Incorporated, and the amount is $94,137. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
14 is a resolution authorizing an agreement with Bridge Inspection Services, LLC. This is for 3 additional bridge inspections in the city, and the amount is $900. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, you take the vote.
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
15 is a resolution authorizing a co-sponsorship of Patriots Association celebration. This allows the city to be a co-sponsor of the patriotic celebration on Monday, July the 4th. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, this just puts it on a continuous basis so we don't have to address it every year.
Good.
Basically, that's what it is.
What is the, besides the fireworks, is there anything else?
I believe that's
planned?
it. It's going to be like on normal, about 9 o'clock at night. That'll be announced later, sure.
Okay.
Right now, I think is that a Monday?
It is
Or
4th of
that's
July.
on a Monday?
It's on a Monday.
Okay. But we'll be announcing that as it comes up.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So mo-
Take the vote.
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye. Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
That ought to stick real good.
Okay, new business. Is there any new business?
Mr. President, I have a resolution I'd like to ask for unanimous consent to consider this morning. It's appointing a member to the Gadsden Commercial Development. It's appointing Jason Wilson to replace Dwight Smith on the Commercial Development Board.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
I'll ask for passage, please.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Is there any other new business?
Mr. President, I have one, please. It's resolution authorizing bid number 3174 to Adams Clearing Company, LLC, for grinding service at the inert landfill. I'll ask for unanimous consent, please.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Move to adopt, please.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, what this is since we've had the storms, recent storm damage we've had and everything, and increase in our debris we've had out there, limbs and stuff like that, we just need to go ahead and try to get this contract started with. And it's a 3-year contract from 7,500 to 85 cubic annual. For the first year is going to be 465, the second year is 475, and the third year is 485. This is something we do all the time out there at landfill. Try to save us a little room.
Is there any other discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Is there any other new business?
Mr. President, I have two items. My first item, I would like to move consideration, unanimous consent to for consideration today's appointing a member of the Beautification Board, Melvin Cook, to the Beautification Board to term ending 2013, July.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
And Mr. President, I also have a resolution approving the special event liquor license for Extreme Events LLC. And I'd like to move for consideration today.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. President, this is an event that's going to take place at Nakalula Falls, and I'll ask Hugh Stump to give us a brief description. He can describe it much better than I can.
Thanks.
Good morning, Council. Thank you for having us here today. I'm Hugh Stump with the Etowah County Tourism Board, and we are helping promote the Barbarian Challenge this weekend. Extreme Events LLC is a event company out of Georgia. I went to view the first Barbarian Challenge they put on last year in Georgia, and thought it would be a great event to bring to Gadsden and Nakalula Mountain because of the terrain there. It's an adventure running race for extreme athletes, adrenaline junkie type racers that like to run, but they also like to cross-train CrossFit programs such as that. So it's a running event. It takes place on Nakalula Mountain, up and down various hills using most of the Black Creek Trail, crossing the creek a couple places. There'll be about 12 man-made obstacles they'll need to get over, around, through, and under. It's a timed event. It takes place in waves or hordes, and they go off on the hour. And I believe we have over 600 participants signed up as of today. So we'll be bringing people from all around the southeast into town to take part in this adventure race on the mountain. And we'll have on the landfill, we'll be at the start and finish line area, and we'll have a stage up there. There'll be music, there'll be food, and that's where we'll have beer in a confined area for the participants. After the race, they can buy a beer. They get one beer as part of their entry if they have, meet those qualifications, and then if they want to have another one while they're waiting for their friends to finish in a different horde, something like that. We'll have music. It should be a good event, and it should show off the recreational opportunities of the mountain to quite a few young generation folks.
Thank you.
Okay, just one correction. Hugh,
Yes.
it's going to be on Lookout Mountain
Lookout Mountain.
at Nakalula Falls.
At Nakalula Falls. Yeah, I call it Nakalula Mountain. Yeah, Lookout Mountain at
I'll
Nakalula
keep
Falls.
pressing that until everybody finds out that's
Lookout Mountain, yeah.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Okay, is there any other new business?
Yes, Mr. President, I have one. This is a resolution appointing members to the Regional 310 Authority. I'd ask for unanimous consent to consider.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Okay, at this time, I would ask for approval.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, this is appointing Dedrick Williams, replacing Sean Polk, who resigned. Her term ends April 1, 2013, and it's reappointing Cynthia Woods. Her new term ends April 1, 2017.
Any other discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Is there any other new business? Okay, department reports, committees, boards, are there any? Remarks by the mayor and the council? You want to start, Billy?
Yes, sir, Mr. President, I have no comments today.
Goodness, Mr. Robert?
That was great. I don't know if everybody received this information from Patricia Collins. It's on internet accessibility for people who children receive free lunches and what have you. And they asked us to kind of publicize this. And since I always talk about the fact that a lot of the folks in my district don't have internet, here's an opportunity for them to get some internet at a very reasonable rate. And the program is going to be starting for the 2011-2012 school year, and it's going to run $9.95 per month if you have a student who receives a free lunch at school. It's the national free lunch program. So as much as we can publicize this for people who are low income and they want to have their children have access to the internet, then this program here is going to be available for them at $9.95 per month. Also, I think it talks something in here about providing a computer or something. But at any rate, we're going to be hearing more about this, and I'm sure we can get Ms. Collins to come down and talk to us about it. This is a program that Comcast is promoting, so just wanted to get that out there.
That computer's $149
Okay.
when you enroll in the program, at the time you enroll in the program, so that's
still a good buy.
That's a good buy. $149.
$149. I know it was in here somewhere. I was trying to find it. But that's still a good deal. $149 for a computer, and then $9.95 a month for the internet service.
It is.
That's still great.
Everybody-
It's making it almost affordable.
That's right.
That's all.
I don't have anything this morning, thank you.
Johnny?
Mr. President, I know we sit up here all the time, we talk about grass, liens on grass and everything, and we beat what I'm fixing to say with a dead horse. Every year, we've got 4 or 5 skags running up and down Michigan Boulevard, 278 Rainbow Drive. We're cutting state right-of-ways, and we never get a dime for it. We've got those guys on the skags that's running up and down cutting the state right-of-ways. We've got a crew of weed eater guys that come along and weed eat, and we never get a penny back from the state for doing all that. And I know we have to keep that property up to maintain it so our city look beautiful, and Public Works does a good job in doing that, but I just think there's some way, somehow, we could do something and try to get some money back from the state. I would venture we probably spend $400,000 or $500,000 a year just cutting that state right-of-ways.
I think they cut it twice a year whether it needs it or not, and that's all they do.
Yeah, and we end up cutting, if I'm not mistaken, about every 8 to 10 days we're cutting it. Plus, we're cutting down here by the mall up there on that state right-of-way with a bridge arm. We're just taking more and more state property owned, and we're not getting paid for it.
I think they planted the shrubs and that kind of stuff with the understanding that we would keep it up.
Well, I think we've been
And
better
I
off
think we
planting.
got a contract along that, and maybe we shouldn't have let them put them in if that was the deal.
I think we've been better off planting our own shrubs and letting them cut it. That's all I got.
Okay, Ben?
Yeah, I'm kind of like them. I would rather concrete than painted green. Wouldn't have to worry about that. No, I didn't have anything, but I did with John Ashley here. I want to let my neighbors know that I am going to go home today and cut my yard. So, all having been said. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
About next week.
I'll make
Next week.
Due to the Alabama League Convention next week, the council won't meet on June the 28th, and the next regular scheduled council meeting will be July the 5th. If there's not anything else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Meeting's adjourned.